So no, we would first do Bless. We want to do that as Bless because we're concentrating on that. We would add that to every round of combat. Then on top of that, we could cast Sanctuary on someone. All right, so we have a Couatl, a medium celestial with 19 AC. Medium, as I said before. 13 D8 hit dice. Should be a CR4. And then our stats of 16 strength, 20 dex, 17 con, 18 intellect, 20 wisdom, and 18 charisma. That's it for the base information, so let's take a look at the skills area, and we have 3 saving throws of con, wisdom, and charisma. So we'll go ahead and change, not that, but this over here, from 0 to 2 to 3 to 4 to give us +2 effective AC bonus because of all the saving throws. And we'll take a look at the damage resistances and immunities. Now we only have 1 resistance, and that's to radiant damage, which since we only have the 1 condition, we can skip over that. And then take a look at damage immunities. We have Psychic, Bludgeoning, Piercing, and Slashing from non-magical attacks. So we go ahead and throw that in to give us 2 times the hit points, really bumping up this flying blessed snake into higher levels of hit points. Alright, now let's move down into the monster traits here of Innate Spellcasting, Magic Weapons, and Shielded Mind. Now we have a whole bunch of spells in the Innate Spellcasting. We do have Bless, Create Food and Water, Cure Wounds, Lesser Restoration, Protection from Poison, Sanctuary, and Shield. Now, the big one right here is Shield. That's going to be very important, and so important, in fact, I added it into the monster traits here. So we'll go ahead and add in the +5 AC for Shield. What could help us, if need be, is I believe Sanctuary might be helpful, and it doesn't take concentration, which is nice, and it's also a bonus action. So here's an important thing. We could have the Couatl casting Sanctuary on a whole bunch of targets. And if Sanctuary is in play, that's going to make things a whole lot harder for the monsters or whoever to hit the targets of Sanctuary. So for the time being, I'm gonna put that right here. And we'll take a look at that once we get into the rounds of combat and adding that in. Since it is a bonus action, we can use that 3 times. And then we also have Bless, which we could use as a means of concentration, since we don't really have a concentration spell set up yet. So Bless could be something else we could add into that. I would also give that, since it's a level 1 spell, +10 effective DPR as well. So we could do, let's see here, Bless 10 EDPR as well. So we have 2 spells that we can cast and concentrate on. All right, so let's see here. We've got some pretty important spells from Innate Spellcasting, and we can move on to Magic Weapons. Magic Weapons just makes the Couatl's weapon attacks magical and doesn't affect the CR. Lastly, we also have Shielded Mind, and the Couatl is immune to scrying and other such emotions and other such things that would be able to sense the Couatl. Again, this is going to be no effect on the CR, so we can skip down into the actions of our Couatl. We got Bite, Constrict, and Shape Change. For the Bite, we have a +8 to hit, and what else have we got going on? This is going to be 1d6 +5, so that's the dexterity bonus for our Bite attack. On top of that, Constitution save, or be poisoned for 24 hours. Okay, so this is an atypical poison, because it's really throwing players out of commission, but I would suggest, because the troglodyte has the aura of stench, and stench gives the poisoned condition, I would say every time the Couatl bites, we would also be poisoning someone and they would be failing their Constitution save. We would probably only get 2 successful poisoned condition bites. So I would say come down here, add +2 to the AC for the Couatl for the bite damage, and we can move on from there. On top of that, we also have Constrict, which, let's see here, could grapple, but you can only constrict 1 target at a time. So let's take a look at the bludgeoning or constrict damage here. So we have 2d6, and that is, what do we got? +3, so that came from the strength. So we got our 10 damage from the constrict. After that, we also have shape change, change shape, and polymorph into a human or beast. Couatl retains game statistics, but it takes an action to use. So I'm going to skip over change shape and start working out what we might have for damage here. So let's take a look here. We don't have a multi-attack, but we do have some spells to take into account. So I'm going to go right to round 1 of combat. I would say round 1, let's try the bite out and see what happens. So no, we would first do Bless. We want to do that as Bless because we're concentrating on that. We would add that to every round of combat. Then on top of that, we could cast Sanctuary on someone. So first round of combat, technically we have 20 effective DPR. Second round of combat, we still are concentrating on Bless. And then after that, we could do some biting. And that's when we would get the poison condition in as well. And then after that, we could just repeat round 2 by concentrating on Bless, we're doing a bite, and we're casting Sanctuary as needed. So when we get done with it, if we do all this stuff with the effective DPR here, from Sanctuary, from Bless, we're looking at a CR 9. And this is pretty intense because this is supposed to be a CR 4 monster. This is extremely underrated.